So everyone, I want to start with the fact that, this is for educational purposes. First of all, Happy New Year's to everyone. It's so fantastic. Hi, Roland, to translators. Thank you guys so much for everything you're doing. We had a really long, good 2025, but 2026 for Root has started off incredibly well. We have a lot of new customers that have started working with, and I want to say thank you to the ambassadors that have led scientifically and from a product perspective, because it is really showing in the growth of what we're doing with a lot of the new offices. So one of the things that this has said to me is when you work in this company, people unfortunately get caught up in the arguing with people or the stress between people. And that's not what this company was started to do. This company was started with one mission, and that was to impact people so that they have greater, better lives. Our goal was not to claim to cure anything or fix every world problem. Our goal was to come together as a community, starting with each individual body and cellular health. Our goal was to really talk about how important cellular health is. From the very beginning, when Root was started, it was a family business. It was about the fact that there, as a scientist and as a mother, I always have wanted my children to be healthy. The problem is you can't control every decision a child makes, and you can't even control your own body, but you can control what you put in your body, and you can control some of the stuff you take out. So whatever's in our control, and I've said this before, we need to take it. In a world where we're so mad at what's happening, whether it was the pandemic or economics or world wars, everyone's frustrated. Instead of being frustrated, our goal is to go back to our own lives, our own cellular health, and our own family, and really grow our lives so it's better. I talked about this last week. I'm going to talk about this again. 2026 has already been a great year for me. And if you ask why, it's because of my frame of reference and really what I'm focusing on. Focusing on cellular health for my body has been so important, and for my children's bodies and our entire family and friends is very important. In your house, in your body, you have your own community of basically families and different people living in the body. What are those? Those are viruses, bacteria, parasites, fungus, not just the cells that you think. Because when you think of your body, you think about the cells talking and things working. The problem is when you have a wall up and things do not go through the immune system, they don't go through the IL-2, IL-4 pathways, or that those pathways are clogged up with toxins, the body doesn't work effectively. That's why environmental triggers like heavy metals and like pollution and microplastics, along with the bacteria, viruses, and fungus, are so integral for us to understand. So I'm going to step back before we get into this and recognize and talk about something that I know everyone's thinking about. This year, the flu season has been rough for almost everyone. There's been a lot of different things going on that have impacted the body negatively. And with that, people are reeling and trying to figure out what to do. One of the reasons we're talking about clean spirits today is because this particular time of year is a great time to use clean spirits, not because of drinking, but because of liver support. Because if your liver isn't working correctly or metabolizing things correctly, it impacts everything you put on your body, not in your body, not just if you take a drug, not just food you eat, but even a supplement. You've got to clean the body out. That's why when people talk to me about where do they start at Root, I always say you should start with clean slate. And now I also say clean spirits, because clean spirits, along with clean slate, is getting into the body and getting rid of those things by supporting the body's natural process. So let me say this again. It's doing this by supporting the body's natural process to get rid of imperfections. This particular process we have is patent pending technology. and it pertains to liver health as well as the rest of the body. So let's dig into this and remember in your minds, don't just think alcohol metabolism. Think your body and the metabolism, because going back again, your liver is one of your most important parts of your body. And if it's not filtering things, if it's not cleaning things to its full extent, then the entire body is not getting the nutrients it means. And that means when you put in, for example, immune defense shield, if your body's not clean, you don't get as many of the nutrients from immune defense shield, like your NAD, your quercetin, all of that stuff. First, you have to have the body clean. So let's dig into this right now. Let's go to the next slide. So clean spirits is really a powerful tool for everything. It delivers to the body a support to help the body detoxify or clean so
Want to
the
get
body
gas
can
now or
recover.
go right to the house?
Whatever you want.
Please
So
try to remain muted, everyone. Remember, if you're unmuted and you start talking to people around you, it's going to disrupt the entire lecture here.
So we're trying to recover the pathways. And I want to explain this more so you guys understand. We're emphasizing liver metabolism, but the truth is all of your pathways in the system, not just the IL-2, IL-4, P450 pathways, all of them need to really get rid of this toxic burden, because this toxic burden, which comes from the environment, from the land, air, and water, as well as viruses, bacteria, have caused our bodies not to work effectively, right? So rather than forcing the body to do something like a chelation therapy, which works but can be hard on the body, we're trying to gradually help the body clean. And that starts with either a clean slate or a clean spirits. What is the difference between clean spirits? Clean spirits, the entire line was formed and filed to really help with the biochemical processes of breaking down alcohol related byproducts. But if you really dig into it, it's also helping with non-alcohol stressors and with other toxins to get those out of the body. It addresses a lot of the key challenges in the body, mostly inflammation. So when you have a virus or bacteria, you're trying to get inflammation down. You're trying to get that cytokine storm, and a cytokine storm means there's just a war in the body. The body is on stress. The body's on fire. It's red alert, right? When you get sick, you either have a temperature or you're coughing or you can't breathe or you can't eat and your body just feels horrible. The goal of this product line is really to get in and really get rid of the stress in the body, get rid of that cytokine storm, and activate the body so it's metabolizing things and replenishing the critical minerals and vitamins the body needs. Let me say that again. The purpose of this line is to clean and replenish the pathway. So you're going to basically clean them, replenish the pathways in the body so the immune system is working more effectively, so cellular health is working more effectively, so that the body is metabolizing things, including nutrients, so it works in a more effective way. When you have a family and someone comes to your family and breaks in the house and steals something, that's a thief that comes to steal from the family. When your house, which is your body, is violated by a virus or bacteria, fungus, parasite, or an environmental factor, when something comes into your body and breaks in, your body has to come out and produce what it needs to do so the body becomes healthy again. Just like you would get rid of a thief or a burglar in your home. Your body has to have something that locks it down, creates barricades, and helps the entire body. And this Clean Spirits line is going in and basically getting rid of the thief, getting rid of the burglar that just broke into the body, and then providing a lock to the body so it doesn't keep happening. We're going to go more and more into this. The next slide, please. So that's the purpose behind this entire line. And that is the protocol around it. So how do you position, next slide, Tiana, how do you position Clean Slate in a daily world? Because how is this technology patented? How is it done? And how do we position it? So let's go back to the patented part of it. What makes this different? The Clean Spirits patent is U.S. Patent 11,896,608 B1. I said it was patent pending. I think it's approved. I can't keep up with which ones are approved. I remember now this one was approved. The patent works because it has a composition that supports metabolism through multiple biological pathways. The patent was written in a lot of different ways to really show how it could help with the entire body. It focuses on enzyme and cofactor support and how it provides nutrients to the body in support of an alcohol metabolizing enzyme. But it also shows this metabolizing enzyme works in different ways with different things. Because again, your goal is to create a normal pathway for the body that works effectively as it pertains to the liver and the whole body's metabolism, so you can get rid of things. So even though it was filed around alcohol, if you look at the science technology, it's really trying to get the inflammation down, again, getting the thief out of the body, and then support the body so that it can protect itself. It's doing that too by adding glutathione and antioxidant support, which is so important because having NAC and vitamin C help with that production is something that really can assist the liver and the entire body with oxidative stress so that the body is working more effectively. And people talk to me about drinking alcohol or smoking and how that impacts their longevity and their aging. Here's my answer. There are people that have lived to be 100 and 110 that smoke. There are people that have lived to be 110 that are drinking every day, but their bodies are working in a more effective way. It's not my job in this world to judge people. It's not my job in this world to talk bad about people. It's my job in this world to support people and their bodies so they can get the most out of their body. And everyone makes different decisions. There isn't one person on this phone call or on this Zoom that lives a perfect life. None of you do. I don't either. So we all need the help from something like Clean Spirits because you're trying to get these things again out of the body, but you're bringing in support for the enzymes and the cofactors of the body, and you're supporting glutathione and antioxidant support so that your cellular health inside the body is working. What you want to do again is get rid of the fire, get rid of the stress, get rid of the toxins, and support this body. And the patents were approved to do this. They were approved to also support mineral health and vitamin health, and as well as the hydration and the metabolic signaling, showing that through the different factors that was used, through the frequency-based technology that was used, the body is able to utilize this so the body works in a more effective way. We're not claiming we're curing everything in the body. We're giving the body the tools it needs to clean out the body so cellular health is better and so the body works more effectively. When people get sick with the flu or a virus, they start panicking. One of the things I brought up last week is this particular line, in my opinion, is very helpful to the overall effectiveness of the body. And when you add stuff like immune defense shield to this, and I've been using immune defense shield 3 times a day. I'm breaking it into the morning, to lunch, and at night so that I'm spacing it out. If you ask why, it's because when I went over to Europe, everyone was sick and I got a cough and I started coughing. And when I came back to the United States, everyone was sick. And so I said to myself, how can I get rid of this as quickly as possible? And one of the things that I realized with the technology that I've created is if I took immune defense shield 3 times a day, it was keeping a peak plasma level up in my body so that the NAD and quercetin and magnesium and cofactors would work more effectively. And I hope I'm not speaking too much. I see Sophie. I know Sophie's understanding what I'm saying, but I'm not sure everyone else is. So if you are a scientist or a doctor after this call, please make sure that you double down on what I'm saying and explain it to people. We have created basically a encapsulation and binding method that improves stability in the system. It improves bioavailability in the system. It improves GI effects in the system because it's reaching the cells more effectively. When you hear clean spirits, that's what I want you to remember. I don't want you to remember alcohol metabolism. I want you to remember what was the patent around an advanced delivery system. So I want to stop right here. I'm going to say something, and this is a lot more information than I've ever given on a science talk, I think. Um, when you talk about the fact of a mRNA delivery system for a vaccine or a retroviruses, it's a delivery system that's made to impact cells. Guess what we have? We have a natural delivery system. I'm not using synthetics. I've never made a vaccine to hurt people. I don't do that. I focus on the human body and how do we improve it by creating delivery systems that work. So part of the patented technology of clean spirits had nothing to do with alcohol, everyone. It had to do around the fact that it's a delivery system that's natural, that's helpful to the body, that works. It helps improve stability for the body, bioavailability. It helps the GI system absorb it. So let's say Dylan is into working out and he wants to work out every day and he wants his GI system to metabolize and burn things and absorb things, then he needs something like clean spirits because clean spirits is digging in and helping his body clean out so then it works more effectively like a machine. Any bodybuilder that really cares about their body, they understand that their body is a machine. I look at my body that way. Even though I'm a scientist, if this machine doesn't work, my brain doesn't work. So do I like clean spirits? 100%. Because I understand if I'm taking a zero in or immune defense shield, how do I make sure it's working more effectively? And again, the key point to this is that this is something that is not a stimulant, but something, however, that is working to more effectively support the body so it metabolizes things more effectively. Next slide. This is why I'm so excited about all of this and why I want this community to really understand, because I feel like when I came out with Clean Spirits, we focused so much on liver health. And then the community is so smart. You guys caught that it was also helping with cognitive functioning. And basically, it was helping people get rid of bad dreams, even though they had to go through a period where they were reliving them. They noticed a huge difference in their sleep when they took Clean Spirits. Why? It's because once you release things out of the body and you clean them, they still have to go out of their body. So your body goes through a period where you can notice a difference because your body is really cleaning itself out. And because of this Clean Spirits line, not just with the tincture of Clean Spirits that you put in water or in a drink, but also in the powders that have been produced with Xoted and Good Morning Minerals, those are so important to the overall body's health. When your body has fatty liver disease, and I want to stop and I want to tell you guys this, fatty liver disease is so much more prominent than we've ever seen in history. It used to be fatty liver disease was for people that drank. Now, fast forward to 2020 to now, we have more colon cancer, more fatty liver disease, more cardiovascular. What do we do about it? We got to get rid of the burden in our body. We got to clean out the burden and we have to really support our metabolism because it's so closely tied to everything. When you talk about obesity, obesity is not just because of what you're eating. Obesity is also tied to insulin resistance and inflammation and not being able to metabolize things in the body. So remember that because, again, this line is really set so we can help the body really get rid of the things that it should and get rid of that toxic overload in the body and support the body. So if you're looking at performance this year, if you want to look better, then you should be, in my opinion, on Clean Spirits. If you want to feel better, if you want to improve cognitive functioning and you're already on zero in, what are other things you can add? And to me, this entire line is something that's beneficial overall to everything in the body. Next slide. So, how do you go from here? What do you do? How do you How do you use the products together? And my answer to that is it was the wrong deck. It's fine. I figured it out. They gave me the wrong deck, but I told them it was fine. Yeah, it's fine. So how do we do that? Like, how do we use all the products cohesively together? And my answer to that is you do use all three of the products. They're separate. Can you use them all together? The answer is yes. It's kind of like immune defense shield. You can take immune defense shield all at once, or you could break it out and use it 3 times a day. Same with Relive, same with Clean Slate, because even though we give you guys protocols, we actually also try to tell you what we know works, but we know that everybody has a different blood type. Everyone has different genetics, so everybody's body's a little bit different. The goal is to really get to cellular health, and I think one of the things that's so important is the Xoted powder that we don't talk about nearly as much, because the Xoted powder is something that's really digging into the body and helping really break things apart on another level. Of course, I feel like the Clean Spirits main line, which is the tinctures that you put into either water or your mouth or alcohol or food, is one of your first things that you need to do for nutrients. But you also need to make sure that you're balancing everything that's going on in the body. So all three of those lines are useful. Good Morning Minerals was put into place, and we'll talk more about it later, because we wanted people to be able to start off their morning in a great way. But the truth is, Good Morning Minerals could be taken at any time of the day. I would prefer that the Xoted powder be taken alone rather than with other things. That being said, I sometimes put the Xoted powder in with the Relive greens and the Give Me Back My Youth. And I take it at the same time as Crush and Sculpt. And we'll let Dylan and some other people talk about how they take it later. But again, your overall goal of all three of those products are to support your liver by in helping the body detox so you can replenish, so you have better cellular health. And I want to go back again and say this: during a time like this, when there's viruses, this is a great step for the body to take to really clean things completely out of the body and support the body as it moves toward remediation. And as I have said before, remediation is something that means you're not making the body sustainable, you're making it better. You're taking out the things that shouldn't be there and supporting the things that should and making it better. Next slide. So, what do we do now? Like what comes about when we talk about the core detox and recovery support? How are we doing that? How are we breaking that out? And we're going to start with the main Clean Spirits line and talk about it. So you're using a vitamin C, zinc, ion C mineral complex, and a NAC and a silicon dioxide. Why is that important? Your body is composed of water and silica. It also, of course, has vitamins and minerals that are really helping the body as it tries to break things down. When you look at these key ingredients, we know as scientists that these ingredients can help the liver break down things, but it was the way this process was made, because I used frequency-based machines and science when I did it. That's when people ask me, do you use frequencies? The answer is yes. Do I use nanotechnology? Yes, but I don't infuse things with nanotechnology. My goal is to reverse in the body and in anything that I do, any GMOs, toxins, or nuclear waste. I want to get rid of those. And I'm one of the few scientists in this world that's really focusing on that. I'm not focusing on it a little bit. It's a focus of mine every day. How do we get rid of the GMOs in our world? How do we get rid of the microplastics that we know are not just in fish, but they're in our water, in our land? How do we do that? And the answer is we've got to really get to the core of who we are and detox, because we can't control the land, air, and water around us yet. Hopefully someday we can. Right now we can't. So we have to focus on our body and our family, and how do we protect our body and our family. And to do that, we're also focusing on glutathione production, and NAC and vitamin C fuel the body's antioxidant system, so that works more effectively. Again, let me go back to that. Glutathione production. People always ask me about it, and this is one of the key products that's really assisting the body in producing those, because you can give those to people, but you also want the body to work to produce it. I want to say that again. You can give glutathione, NAC, and vitamin C, but your goal is to get the body to naturally produce it. And that's one of our focuses with this product line. Cellular stability and pathways are another focus. Silicon helps maintain cellular structure and health. And a lot of people don't know that, because silica has been known to be negative unless it's made the right way. So there was a lot of stuff where people talked about zeolites, right? I used a zeolite in the beginning, and I drew the silica out. And if you ask why, it's because I wanted it to be more bioavailable, more stable, more concise, and have more of an ability to help the metabolism and the overall structure of the body. So when people ask you why I did it, there's lots of reasons, but those are some of the main reasons that I did it as a scientist. Wanting to reduce oxidative stress has been extremely important to me. I think I've talked about it so much with you guys, you may not understand the importance, but if your body can get rid of the stress inside, your body can flourish, and you can become this well-tuned machine that can do almost anything. But in order to do that, you've got to reduce that stress, and that's the goal. Any of you guys that are on this phone call that have a disease or a diagnosis, your first step is to help the body. And again, I don't even make a claim that the products do it. The products go in, help the body work naturally and more effectively. All we're doing is almost giving the body soap to get rid of things, and then we're giving nutrients and minerals in our products, and the nutrients and minerals that we're giving, we're detoxing, so you don't just put more toxins in your body. Again, you're giving the body the core minerals and vitamins it needs to recover so it can support itself more effectively. So how does this fit into the whole overall system? And the answer is it can reduce the metabolic oxidative stress so the whole body works more effectively. And I know I keep saying it in different ways, but if you can support the liver enzymes to work more effectively and support antioxidation in the body so that you don't have anything that is oxidative stress, then the body starts working in every way. So let's say you're diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. I've always said this, it doesn't matter what your diagnosis is. Your main thing you have to do so your body thrives is to get rid of the stress, to get rid of the fire that's inside. And then you can talk about the rest of the issues. Our goal is to get to the root of the issue. What's the root issue? The root issue is environmental factors, and how do we clean out the body? And no one's been cleaning out our bodies. So now it's on us to do it. You know what? That makes me feel more powerful. That makes me feel more productive. That makes me feel like things are going to go great this year, because I understand that. And for the first time, I'm not saying this is a government's responsibility. This is my family's responsibility. This is my friend's responsibility. Instead, I'm saying this is my responsibility to clean my body. And then my job is to share with my friends. So hopefully they have healthier bodies like I do. Let's go to the next slide. So Xoted Support Powder, I told you guys this is one of the most underutilized products we have. Most underused product. I don't understand, and I think it's because when I launched it, I didn't launch it right. I blame myself. I never blame anyone else. For me, this particular product was so important to us because even though like Relive Grains has your aminos and your vitamins, and you have Crush and you have Sculpt that are helping with your insulin resistance or helping the body work more effectively as it pertains to sugar and carbs, for me, I didn't emphasize this product and how important I feel like it is to the liver. I was on a podcast for parasites and on another podcast for fungus, and they asked me what the most important product we had was to help with what, or is to help with fungus and parasites. And here's my answer. This one product is probably the most important product. Then why haven't I talked about it enough? Well, I think because I feel like I talk all the time and I didn't get that across, because this particular product is not just going in and helping again with alcohol. It's going in, it's helping with the immune system. It's going in, it's helping with the cardiovascular system and the metabolic system. It's helping with the enzymes and the nutrients in the body, because it's really getting rid of all of that mess. The first time Clayton took I think he took like 3 teaspoons of this and he was like, oh my gosh, Christina, I have never had a stronger detox product. Of course, he was taking Clean Slate and Clean Spirits. But any of you guys that ask me, what do I do during a parasite cleanse? Or what do I do if I have mold and fungus? Please look at this product because this product is helping activate the enzymes to get rid of that trash. And that includes when you have fungus and parasites, you've got to break it apart and get it out of the system. You have to support the metabolism of the system. If you think about the liver and the metabolism, you're taking the trash out. Seriously, that's why it's there. And if you say to me, why isn't it working more effectively? Because our world has innovated more products and it can't keep up with everything around it. So this is a tool to support the liver and support the body so that it responds better to stress. It responds better to toxins. It responds better to daily exposure. Guys, dig into this. If you don't have it, look into it and make sure you use it. I also use this when we cook. My daughter and her boyfriend, who's from the UK, they even used it when they made a salad dressing. It's really, really good. It tastes great, but it's really something that you need to add, at least in my opinion, once a month for 2 to 4 to 7 days if you're doing a parasite cleanse to really assess the body with that entire cleaning process. Next slide. So if you don't have it, guys, you need to get it this year. That's my summary as far as Xoted. Good Morning Minerals is something that's just a foundational piece. For me, it's a mineral that the body needs. And do we put these minerals and other things we have? Yes. But I wanted something that just had the magnesium oxide and calcium carbonate because I wanted those to really help with the regulation of the nervous system. And I wanted to help with muscles and bones. And people don't understand this,
Parce
but
que
unless you have the
on
right
parlait de...
magnesium oxide, calcium carbonate, your body, your muscles, your ligaments don't work as effectively. In fact, we know that you can't break down the stress even in the GI if you don't have this in your body. So a lot of people that have acid reflux and different things that happen in their body, they're missing the calcium or the magnesium. So this is something if you have problems swallowing, if you have problems digesting, if you have problems with muscles, this is something that really can help. It restores the minerals that are depleted during alcohol consumption, but it also restores the minerals depleted from stress, environmental toxins, including heavy metals, and from nutrient poor diets. So remember, this is something that's just a base layer of minerals to help your body really work more effectively. And if you say to me, so what, they're just minerals, listen, your body's living off minerals and vitamins. Like it may just be minerals, but it's one of the most important things that your body needs. So Good Morning Minerals is something that's fantastic to put and other stuff you're taking. And guys, I want to say this. When people say to me, well, you guys have products that are in pill format, anything we have in a pill format, you can cut open and put it in stuff as well. That's why when people ask me about the ages people can use products, I have to always say it's for any age, but you need to consult with a doctor. I have to say you need to consult with a doctor legally. I mean, you have to say those kinds of things because you don't want to not guide people the right way. However, these products are needed for everyone. So for a child, for example, you may not need a whole serving size, but you would use like 1/4 to 1/2 of a serving size if a child is younger. Same with the Xoted powder, same with the Clean Spirits main basic tincture. So remember that you can use it with children. You need because you're basically just giving them minerals and vitamins, and those minerals and vitamins have been cleaned for human consumption so that they're not putting negative things in their body. I feel safe about that because we spend so much time making sure these products are safe for the human body and that they will help support the body to get rid of the things that shouldn't be in the body. Next slide. So how do we position this in daily wellness? And I feel like, again, we failed as a community. I failed as a scientist in really explaining how Clean Slate helps. It's not just for social drinkers. It's not for someone that's drinking and they want to help metabolize the alcohol. Of course, it's in the patents, it was even approved for people that overdosed, right? But I have not talked about that a lot because with Clean Spirits, the overall reason is to get rid of environmental stressors and environmental triggers and to really help the pathways in the body to clean out so that the nutrients and minerals work more effectively. That's the goal of this line. It would be great if you could be consistent and use this line every day. However, if not, again, you guys heard what I said, at least once or twice a week, and during a parasitic cleanse or a fungal mold cleanse, if you have it in your house or your body, this is definitely something you want to add to your daily routine. And then you want to use more of it. For example, you would want, if you did a parasite cleanse or a fungus cleanse or a fungal cleanse, excuse me, you would use even more of it. So people ask me, Christina, what is your positioning on how much to use? And again, it depends on what your goal is. When it's a full moon and we know the parasites are in our body, and that's a fact, that's not something I think, that's what we all know, right? Because if there's a full moon, you have more stress, you have more homicide, you have more suicide. That was one of the first things they taught me when I was a psychologist. And I thought it was a joke. I still remember being in class and our professor saying, during a full moon, more people kill people. During a full moon, more people are depressed. During a full moon, more people are anxious. More people are sick. I didn't know that until I was older. As a kid, I never knew that. I'm telling you also, you know, when the moon is full, because of the way the moon and the sun work together, energetically, we feel different. We may not recognize it, but even the things that live in our body, they're alive. Guys, the virus wants to take over your body. The bacteria wants to take over your body. The mold, the parasites, the fungus, they want to take over. It's just a normal part of life though. This has been around since humanity started. It's just worse now because of all the things that have happened with pandemic and all the different viruses and the new things that have occurred. However, this is something our bodies have had to deal with. We just need to give our bodies the tools so they work more, so it works more effectively during a time like this. I want to go back to the first couple of slides. This particular product is helping the body work with nutrients and minerals so it's more bioavailable. And that means so they work better in the body. So they're more efficacious. So they get the results they need in the body. So that they're safer. So the body's healthier. So the body's happier. That was the purpose of the patents. It wasn't just alcohol. Alcohol happens to be a beneficiary of that because there's some people that drink too much, or when they drink, they don't want to gain weight and they want to make sure that it's metabolized. And that was a benefit of this particular line as well. Next slide. So patented protection for modern living. And I love this because, you know, we're living in a modern world. People say to me, we're not going to go back to how it used to be. And it's like it's a question mark. It's not a question mark. We are not going back to how it used to be. It's kind of like after you have a child. My first child was Duquesne. Once I had Duquesne, I was never going back to being the person before where everything was easy, or everything was just me, where I had to deal with stuff. No, once I had a child, my life was changed. Once the pandemic hit, our life is different. So let's talk about the reality of that. We can't feel sorry for ourselves. We don't need to complain about it. We are where we are. Let's be strong. Let's be empowered. I'm asking for this community to be empowered this year, to focus on your body, to focus on your family, to show the love to everyone, to stop being scared, stop complaining. We've got to focus on what we can do and be realistic about it. And we can do it because we are strong enough to do it. So we're in a modern world. Things have changed. What do? We've got to look at our liver. We've got to look at cellular health. We've got to make sure our cells are talking. We have to make sure our bodies are healthy. Whether you're working out like Dylan to make your body look at its optimal, or whether you're working out so you can take care of your kids, whether you're taking these products to support your own body or so that you have more energy for your husband when he comes home. Because I can tell you that was one of the things for Zero In for me. My husband doesn't run out of energy. So if I want to have energy, I have to give my body a little something that helps it. And Zero In is one of those things that help it. Clean Spirits is an underdog. And what that means is we didn't talk about it enough. It is something that is needed for modern living because to support your body to recover, you've got to get rid of all the junk. And even though Clean Spirits is the best starting place I can think of, or Clean Slate is, Clean Spirits is right there to have the integrity of the body, the confidence of the body. It's got to be able to use the nutrients it has. It cannot use those nutrients unless it's cleaned. And that's what this is doing. This is going in a modern way and helping the body clean itself. Next slide. These are the references, and then we're going to talk about one of the articles. Tiger, are you ready with that article, or
I
do it?
actually let me unshare my screen, and then she actually added those two slides to this. So let me unshare and then let me reshare that
Perfect. And I'll
for you.
talk about it while we're doing it. So one of the
Perfect.
things we're trying to do, we're not trying to make every person in our company into a scientist, but we do want you guys to be educated on everything and be able to walk in a doctor's office or into a corporate meeting and understand the human body. Our goal of Root You is to educate people, and not just about the root products, but about our bodies, right? So because of that, every month, so if you guys are on this, please know this. And Sophie, I see you. You're on the top of my screen. And I saw Susanna earlier. I saw Kathy Joe, and I know there's a lot more people on here. Yuli, I see you. Listen, I want to tell you guys this. The goal this year of this community is for us to have white papers and literature reviews all over the science community throughout the world. And at the same time, talk about how those impact us. So you guys will be given certain articles. We will talk about them. These will be published. And then we will tell you the talking points. So I wrote an article on supporting emotional, mental, psychological, and physical health through nutraceuticals. In that article, which we can post the link to the article, or we can direct them, Dylan and Tiana, to where it is on my site, because Stephanie has them. If we need to send them, Dylan, during an ambassador call, we can too. But I want to talk to you guys about this. The goal of the papers are not to and make claims. They are to be scientific white papers like they do for pharmaceuticals so that people understand. And this particular paper goes over the patents, integrates it in, talks about how vitamin C is different, talks about zinc, silicon dioxide, ionic mineral water, and NAC, and how they work together to help with new neurotransmitter balance. We always talk about zero in. Zero in is improving neurotransmission of serotonin and dopamine. But what if your body can't even receive it because your liver's not working and your cells aren't talking? Then it's not helping you. It's not helping your children. So you've got to do it through getting rid of things in the body and then supporting them. And that's what this paper talks about. It goes over how essential things are, like zinc to the liver and to the detox enzymes. It talks about vitamin C and how it supports the adrenal glands of the body. I don't want you guys to guess anymore, and I want you to have white papers you can bring in to discuss it. Again, guys, when you are a scientist or a humanitarian or a business person dedicated to the mission of this world and health and wellness and even wealth, that means you have to understand really what's happening and what it does. So I don't care if you are a famous athlete that is playing football or rugby or running track, or if you're a mother that stays home, or you work at Starbucks, or you work as a cleaning lady. All of this stuff matters. We are all equals. We have different positions in the world, but everyone, whether it's a cleaning lady or a server or me or you, deserves to know this information. So you need to go out in the world and understand not everyone knows what you know. In fact, most of the people on this call are probably more educated because they attend these calls and they understand. So please take the article, understand the speaking points. Our office is going to be pushing this out on social media and on all of our channels. We want people to understand we're not just a company that has products. We are a company that has a patient registry. We are a company with patents. we have white papers, we have clinical papers, and we have journal articles. And if someone says to you, well, that's not a clinical study, we have a lot of stuff, you guys. Everyone's always going to say, like when I worked in the pharmaceutical industry, people were always like, would say to me, well, I haven't seen that information. It's out there, just like it's out there in pharmaceutical. We have it here in nutraceutical because we have set this company up to be a scientific company that can help, again, not just with root, but with everyone. And that's why when people come to me from other companies and say they're taking their products, but they're also taking Clean Slate, what I say is you should also be taking Clean Spirits. Because if they're taking Clean Slate along with their other products to clean the body, this is the second step they should go to detox. And the third step should be relive greens. And I'm saying that because you guys need to understand really the tools you have in your possession. Immune defense shield during this time of year should be taken, in my opinion, 3 times a day so that you hit peak plasma level. But if your body is not clean, it won't accept NAD. It won't accept quercetin. It won't accept magnesium. It'll accept a small part of that, but not a big part. And that's why vitamin C IVs work with a lot of people, but they don't work with everyone because some people's bodies can't even process it or metabolize it. So this is called a product line to help your body for 2026 and help metabolize it. I do want to give out to people this entire line that have a reason why they want it. And it has to be, they want it to give a customer of theirs that hasn't tried it or they want to try it to see how much it impacts the rest of the root products. That's what I want, Dylan, for the end of this. And then Tiana, I would love for you to talk a little bit about the paper and the points. From a scientific perspective, Tiana has a master's in microbiology. In this country, that meant that Tiana went and got an undergraduate degree. And Tiana, I'm not sure if it was in biology or chemistry. And then she went back to school for 3 years and got a master's. And she also is doing other things. So she's an expert scientifically. She helps with the manufacturing process of what we do. So you guys don't usually get to see her, but today she can just talk scientifically. And Tiana, even if you want to talk about these main points, it's fine. But I do want us to be able to direct them, if you don't have it now, later to the actual article. And then just so you guys know, I'm going to put this pressure on Dylan, Duquesne, and Tiger. The 4 to 6 articles, Dylan, that we're pushing out, we need to somehow get those out by the end of the month so that people have those. Your goal, guys, the goal, women, I'm going to speak to you first. Your goal is to get in front of your families and friends and discuss with them what these products can do and how they can help them. And men that are on here, same goal. We're trying as a family unit and as people that care about society and the mission for humanity. When I say family unit, if you guys don't have a family internally, you do though. You have a circle of people you're around. We all do, that we have influence over, that we can impact in a positive way. I don't want to hear this community talk about how bad our world is this year and how many mistakes the presidents or prime ministers are making, because we need to put the pressure back on us. What are we doing to help the world be a better place? We can't sit here and yell at everyone else if we're not putting the pressure back on us. I will stay for some of the questions, Dylan.
Before we get to the hands, which I'm assuming there are questions, I do have a couple questions in the comment section that I couldn't answer.
Okay.
So to answer the first one that I saw was, can you give a reasoning? Because I know you've talked about it before, but a quick reasoning on using calcium carbonate and magnesium oxide in Good Morning Minerals in conjunction?
Yeah. Yeah. So your minerals are an important part of your entire body. And our body naturally has magnesium. It naturally, we actually naturally have both of those minerals, right? We have both of them. The problem is they're not metabolized correctly when you have issues with the liver. And even if you have cardiovascular issues or you have issues with another organ in the body, you just need extra help. And so one of the things we've recognized as scientists is we were talking so much about aminos and peptides And what people need as far as vitamins, we were leaving out the crucial minerals. Now, the B complex that was put in Xoted, I didn't talk about enough either. That entire B complex line, even though you have it in other things, is really dialed in into that Xoted powder. When it comes to Good Morning Minerals, it was because I really believed, based on the fact that our bodies are so toxic and based on the fact that we had a pandemic, our bodies need more of the minerals in order for those enzyme pathways to work more effectively. Your P450 system and your IL-2, IL-4, if you don't have catalysts that are minerals that are working along with that, it doesn't work as well. People were worried about Clean Slate when it was released because they said you're tearing apart things and one of you're taking out the trace minerals, which is why, if you guys notice, I did something different than other companies. And I've noticed now that companies are now doing this, but I integrated the mineral complex into the different lines so they work as a catalyst more effectively. But I still felt like there were individuals out there that needed even more during the process. Now, once you've cleaned your body and you're on a regimen that is not, that you feel like your body's basically just in a routine, you don't need as much of that particular product. But like, for example, if your body is fighting a virus, if you have an autoimmune disorder, if you have autism, cognitive functioning issues, this is a product that people would need because it works to unblock the pathways so you have more of this. When people don't have magnesium or calcium in their body when they have autism, then it impacts the entire body, for example, and it impacts the cognitive functioning. And people question me on the type of magnesium that I chose and vitamin D that I choose. And there's reasons for that. We can get into that later too, Dylan, when we do additional calls based on it. But that's my short answer.
Okay, thank you. Going into the questions with people's hands raised, are your hands raised to try to get the Clean Spirits line, or are your hands raised for questions? I'm assuming questions. So we'll go down the line. Agnes, I'll get you first. And Dr. Rahm, if you don't want to stay for this, I think Tiana and I can figure most of this out.
Can we make sure we're giving, my only problem is I have a meeting. Are you okay with it, Dylan?
Yes, ma'am. And
To
if
get
there's something I can't handle right now, I'll write the question down and contact the person later if it's a medical question.
And Dylan, I just want to throw this out there. If there's a lot of science questions, we can also do a follow-up call with the different practitioners or nutritionists um, later, because I do think this particular call is something we have not talked about before. Another thing we can do, Tiana, is just make sure that they have the articles and the information. And even, guys, on this one, there's a lot more facts than you have to have. But I think it's important that you know this. Like this last slide, just so all of you guys know, it points to a white paper that's a literal white paper. And it's not just about Clean Spirits. The white paper is just about how the product was made and what it does. The reason I do that is I don't usually put the product name, and it shouldn't be, Tiana, in any of the white papers. But I think they put Clean Spirits white paper so you guys would know. And then Dylan, again, we need to make sure we push out the rest of them to everyone.
Of course, yeah, Tiana, we'll work together after this call and we'll send it to the leadership groups
Yes.
Okay.
for the ambassadors.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I hope everyone has an amazing year, and I'm going to hand this over. That's okay, right, Tiana?
Yes.
Yeah, we're good. Okay,
Thank
we'll
you.
go down the line. Thank you, Dr. Rahm. And then if there are any questions that we can't answer due to like science information or medical claims, we'll write it down and I'll contact everyone individually after the call. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Rahm. Going down first, I think I saw Agnes's hand first. So Vera/Agnes, you want to try to unmute and ask your question? And please be okay. You can ask any questions in any language.
Alors, ma question concerne Clean Spirit. Faut-il commencer par Clean Slate avant Clean Spirit? Car des personnes parfois trouvent la solution forte et ne se trouvent pas très bien avec des remontées d'émotions, par exemple. Merci.
Tiana, I can probably just take this one because it's pretty easy.
Okay.
I think there was a misconception about what to start with. I've heard people saying you have to start with clean slate. or you need to do clean spirits after your body's been detoxed. That's not entirely true. It's better to detox your body, starting with clean slate, obviously, to remove all toxins and then moving into the other products. But at the same time, not everyone has that luxury of doing that. So if you're taking clean slate, personally, I take clean slate and clean spirits at the same time. I'll do clean slate in the morning, clean spirits in the afternoon, and clean slate again at night. But what we've noticed is that some people, if they're not hydrated enough, you can have headaches, you can have dizziness. Remember, your body is expelling things, and it's working to create glutathione, and it's working to help out your organs as you're taking clean spirits. So the only reason people would say to take clean slate first is to rid your body of those toxins before you take clean spirits. But at the same time, that's not a necessary thing. And people always ask, should I take clean slate before I take any other products? Obviously, we wouldn't hold people away from taking good products just so they can detox first. Clean slate can be taken in conjunction with the other products as long as you're listening to your body, like we always say.
And just
Diana, anything
kind of
else you
add
want
on what Dylan said, it also helps with the bioavailability of all the other products as well. So once you clean out that toxic overload of your body, it also helps if you take Relive Green, Xoted, whatever other powders or products that you want to take, it also helps with the bioavailability of all those other products.
Yeah, but if you're on a tight schedule, if you want to start products, please don't feel like you need to hold off on taking our clean slate, or sorry, clean spirits line because you have not taken clean slate yet. That's a mixed exception, but it does help. I'm just going to go down the order here. So Nurse Christy, I'm going to get you next.
Merci.
Good morning, Dylan. Good morning, everybody. Was I correct in understanding Dr. Rahm is wanting us to do literature reviews on
No.
articles?
No, so Tiana, Tiger, and Stephanie have actually been working with Dr. Rahm on these. Tiana and I will actually meet. We'll be sharing information that we're allowed to share, so we'll get Dr. Rahm's approval before we share it. But we'll share those out to individual groups for leaderships and people who contact us. We can share those out as well after we get the approval of what we can share.
If we have patents, or if we have access to the patents, like they have been talking about for the past, I don't know, the month or so, that if we're looking at the patents and we are not using the patent as a way of promoting, but we're doing our own sort of literature review of the patents, that's okay though still, right?
Yeah, so the patents on drcpatents.com, the patents you can use whenever you want to. It's actually a great way to promote products because the patents aren't making claims. It's a true patented thing through the US government. And the US Patent Office is one of the most rated in the world. So yeah, please, if for all the patents that she has gotten and are working for, it's completely okay to say this is a patent pending, or for clean spirits, this is a patent approved product. That's not promoting, that's stating a fact.
Right.
What she was saying earlier, if you take the white papers or reviews or case studies, whatever it might be through ISNS, you can't promote products that way and because you're making claims. It always has to be informationally backed. And tying up, you're the one in the more the expert, so I took that question without asking, but is that kind of
No,
the
you're correct. You did good.
okay?
You can share testimonials but not make claims.
Yeah, you can say it as this has happened. Here's our research, but you can't say buy this product because it will cure this.
Yes.
Going down the line, Sophie, want to unmute and go? And please feel free to speak French if you
Oui,
need to.
oui, bonsoir, merci bien. J'avais une question pour les séquelles de vaccin d'hépatite B. Je pensais que ça pouvait aider parce que ça peut enclencher beaucoup de problématiques chez les gens. Et la deuxième question, c'était aussi pour les troubles bipolaires. J'avais tendance à conseiller Trinity Exoted pour commencer en douceur et quid de Clean Spirit dans les cas psychiques très lourds. Voilà.
So I'll go and take that one, Tana, unless you want to tag in afterwards. I'll write that question down, but on a live call with other people, as we all know, we will have to talk offline about that because if you ask specifically about bipolar or specifically about hepatitis B or vaccines, if we make a claim of saying take this protocol, we're making a statement that is basically making a claim that we can solve these issues. So Sophie, I wrote this down. I'll reach out to you afterwards, okay? After talking to Dr. Ram. Okay. Um,
And real quick, Dylan, just a reminder to everybody that there is science at therootbrands.com when it is more science or medical based questions, because those should
Yeah.
never be really talked about here.
yeah, we can take the questions, but we just legally we just can't take those answers. Virginie R, if you want to go and ask yours, and we'll try to answer it.
Hello, do you hear me? It's good? Okay. I have both questions. The first, I was interested to test the line of Clean Spirit product because I have NASH since 20 years. It's a big problem for me, for my health.
Mhm.
And the NASH, it's a NASH syndrome,
Mhm.
liver syndrome.
Well, so
And
what we'll do at the end of this call is we will have everyone who is interested in taking the Clean Spirit, the two people, we'll pick them at the very end after all the questions. So if you're wanting to try to get the Clean Spirits line, we'll work together after that, and we'll have everyone raise their hand, and we'll call out a random number, and we'll find the person that way. And again, this should be either for yourself, like you're talking about, who has an issue, or for someone who is wanting to give it to a customer who they know has an issue. Because I saw a bunch of comments, but I can see people commenting. I don't want to be unfair for other people. So, Vero and Agnes.
Oui, bonsoir, merci. Moi, je voudrais savoir, pour une cholangite sclérosante primitive, quel produit vous conseilleriez? Cholangite sclérosante primitive. Cholangite. C'est en fait le foie qui se sclérose. Je vous entends plus.
That's fine. I will take this down. And again, this will be a medical question. And as Duquesne mentioned, science at therootbrands.com will be a better ask for that, but I'll write that down. Vero. Okay. Going down. Michelle.
Hi, Michelle Smith. Me?
Yes.
Okay, hi.
Yes.
So I have been cautious, I guess, with using the clean spirits because I remember at one point Dr. Christina saying that you should never go over 30 drops of a combination of clean slate and clean spirits. Is that still where she stands on that? Or like if you wanted to take more of the clean spirits, do you back off on the clean slate so that in a day's time you're not taking more than 30 drops combined?
So the quickest way, and I'll do a personal thing with this one, but the quickest way to answer it is clean spirits. Dose recommendation is 10 drops twice a day. So that's 20 total drops. Clean spirits line is 10 drops once a day. That's the recommended dose. So that's probably what you're getting from Dr. Rahm is she's giving the recommended dosing. Obviously, some people require far less than that. If you've been reading the chat, a lot of people can't do a full dosing of clean spirits. Some people can't do a full dosing of clean slate. And then other people have lifestyles who might require different types of variability with those dosing. I gave and this is now not a medical recommendation. It's not anything like that. It's what I've done before. I've tried before 20 drops of clean spirits in a day and 20 drops of clean slate, just to do double and double. Didn't do that for very long. You will feel yourself flushed out. I'm not recommending that. I'm just saying I've tried that. But again, the recommended dosing, which we never tell people to go over the recommended dosing, is 20 drops total for 1 day of clean slate and 10 drops total of clean spirits. And I do want us to end one more time by saying, with those drops, if you want to try that, that's completely fine because you're following the recommended dosing. Just understand it's very powerful things, taking things out of your body and helping. So listen to your body and always drink water.
All
Tyne,
right.
I'm not
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Tyne, I'm not sure if you
But
wanted to add anything on that or if that's
you did, yeah. Yeah, you're good.
yeah. And then I did notice some people talking about giving it to children. Um, our products are naturally like it's not anything crazy. It's not like you're giving them drugs or anything, but always be wary of I mean, a young child should not be taking a full dose of clean slate. Understand and help them listen to it. Verena, I'll go to you. I know we're running out of time here. We're well over time, so we'll be doing this the last question.
Yes, just because you talked about the dosage of clean spirits, can you please review the label of the German bottle of clean spirits because it says 20 drops.
Okay.
Just a German version of the translation. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Now, if everyone may lower their hands. Okay. Oh. Okay. Tyanna, I'll let you pick these ones out. If you are interested in taking the Clean Spirits products that Dr. Rahm had mentioned today, we will pick two winners. The person who wins, I would like it to be someone who really needs the product themselves or someone who wants to give it out and will give it. If your reasoning for giving it is to someone to help them, I will talk to you personally offline and we'll get them the products. I'll ship it directly to them. So I'll give about 5 to 10 more seconds. Tayana, whenever you're
Okay.
ready, just don't look at the screen and just say a number out loud.
Okay. I'm gonna go 21.
Give it a couple more seconds.
Oh, sorry.
All right. Give me two numbers, 1 through 16.
We got 13 and 7.
Okay. My screen is going to be Daniela, and you said 13 and 7.
Yes.
All right. So Wendy Jean is my screen. So if Daniela and Wendy Jean are the ones I have on my screen for those numbers. Daniela and Wendy, can you unmute? Daniela, you go first. Is this going to be for you or for someone else?
Okay, hi. This is going to be for a customer of mine. He has severe post-vac. Verena is also involved in that. She has helped me talking to him. And they are milk farmers and they're really suffering these days. They have baby number 2 on the way. I don't want to give a sob story, but they are such wonderful people and they could really use it.
Perfect. Danielle, I know you have my number or my email, but
I
I'll put it in
don't.
the chat.
Email I have. Yeah.
Yeah. So just in case, because I don't know if Wendy has it, but my
Thank you so
email
much. 13 is my lucky number anyway. I'm wearing it right here. It's like, oh my God, thank you so much. I'm really happy.
Perfect.
13 is my lucky number too, so.
And then Wendy, is this for you or for someone you know?
It'd actually be for my son. We're going to do some co-op in school, so he needs some extra detox to prepare to go into a building that we know has had some history of mold. So it would be for my personal self, my son.
Perfect. Awesome. Daniela and Wendy, my email is in the chat. Please copy that down. I know Daniel, you already have it. But please email me information and I'll get you the line of clean spirits. If you have any more questions on that line for your son or for the person who's getting it, there's questions there too. We are well over time, so I'm going to end it here. Tiana, thank you so much for the slides. Duquesne, thanks for thanks for the random pop in. So that was good. And Vanya and the translation team, thank you guys so much for everything you've done. Thank you, everyone. Have a good day.